YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Pinstar Plays Dicey Dungeons. So Dicey Dungeons is not a new game. It's been out for about a year or so, and actually several of my commenters have brought it to my attention as a game I should be playing. And at the time my plate was rather full, so I figured, you know what? Let me circle back, take a look at this game, see what it is. And you know what? I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. It is a dice-based roguelike. Where you are navigating a dungeon and rolling dice, but it's a lot more complex than just the roll of the dice. What you do with the dice that you roll is more strategic, and you can sort of build yourself to be more effective than just the raw luck of the roll would let you have otherwise. So there's enough strategy in here that it's not just an RNG fest. So let's dive right in, shall we? New game, please. So we have a couple of classes here. I haven't unlocked all of them yet, but let's just start things off with the warrior, the simplest one. We'll go on the stock standard episode here, episode 1. So the premise here, they go into the story a little bit more, is that these people have been trapped in this dungeon by Lady Luck herself, with the promise of winning some fantastic prize if they beat the dungeon and get a luck on the spin. Of course, Lady Luck, being the actual essence of luck, kind of messes with them when it comes to the spin. But regardless, that's the reason why you can keep going and going into the dungeon here. We join together to watch an inevitable failure. Yeah, it's sort of like a twisted game show here. All right, so the way, the warrior, we have a couple of things to our name. Actually, we have one thing to our name. We have a sword. Well, let's get into combat here to just demonstrate this. We're going to go attack this frog. So the right now things are pretty simple. We have 2 dice. And they came up a 4 and a 5. These are just normal 6-sided dice. And now we get to decide what we want to do with these dice. Now, right now, our options are extremely limited. We have a sword, and basically, the sword will do whatever damage the number of the dice put in there is. We only use it once per round, so we generally want to get the highest dice roll out there. Now, as the warrior, we have a special ability. We have this combat roll, which lets us re-roll a dice up to 3 times per turn in an attempt to get something higher. So, that being said, since our highest dice is a 5, I'm going to take my lower dice here. Oh, and there's our 6. We can't get higher than a 6, so bam. So we just knocked 6 hit points off there. Unfortunately, that's it. We are out. I mean, re-rolling this dice is not going to do anything for us, and we don't get to keep it. So now our opponent gets to go, and all of our opponents gets to have their own sets of moves here. So here, he actually has a better weapon than us, a dice +2 and a small shield, which basically reduces damage. But we've got another 6, which is more than enough to overcome the shield. So we get a little money, we get a little experience points, and we move on. And also, that also opens up our ability to get a chest here. Toxic Ooze. Do X damage on a 6, do 2 poison. Ooh, I've never gotten this one before. So now this one works just like the sword, but it's better because if you get a 6 in there, specifically a 6, it poisons them, which does damage over time. Never really worked with poison on the warrior before, but I'm glad I got that. Unfortunately, our slime buddy here, I think he's resistant to poison because yeah, that's all right. We can just do raw damage anyway. But let's go for the 6s anyway, because they're resistant, they're not immune to poison. So let's see what we can get here. 5, okay. A 2, we can do better. A 4. Okay, we're not going to get any poison, but that's okay. So in this case, it really doesn't matter which ones we go for. But at the very least, we can now actually do damage. Alright, so we're going to take poison. So you take damage at the beginning of the round equal to your poison, and your poison goes down. Kind of like Slay the Spire. Alright, now that's done enough damage to trigger our Fury ability, which lets us double the effect of our next action. But we can hold on to that. This guy's almost dead. Now, we do want to do something better than Snake Eyes here, so let's re-roll some of these. Yeah, that's good enough. Well, bam! So we'll hold on to that, and every time you level up, your HP goes back to full. And we not every level, but occasionally you will get extra dice. So now we have 3 dice to roll. So we want to keep going after equipment. And we are down to the next floor where there's more stuff and harder enemies. Let's see. I do want to go for the treasure chest first. The apple is just a little spot healing for free. But we have to tangle with our baby squid here. And yes, the characters here are all kind of cute and curious here. All right, I'm going to try and reroll, see if I can get a 6. Then I'll double the 6, which will do 12 damage and 4 poison. Nope. No guarantees, but it's worth trying. There's our 6. Okay. So we trigger Fury. We take our 6. Well, bam! Well, bam! That's about as effective as we could get. And we'll top off with the sword. They are so dead next round. So blind just hides the value of one of our dice, but the point is kind of moot. Because just from face values, we have enough to deal the damage. And yeah, the faster you win a fight, the less damage you're going to be taking. So let's see what our next thing here. Bump increases your dice value by 1, which is good. Now this right here, this little matrix here is our equipment. And as you can see, these are larger items. And you can only equip so many things. Now, early in the run, we still have room to spare, but pretty soon we're going to have to make some strategic choices as to which equipment we're going to be holding on to. But I'm glad that we have bump, because if we get a 5, we can bump that to a 6 and then trigger Toxic Ooze. I'm going to hold on to the apple, because we're going to be leveling up soon anyway, and I think we can take a Marshmallow here with 24 hit points. Alright, let's do our reroll first. Nope. 5 or a 6 will get us, because we only use bump once. We use a 3. There's a 6. We got it naturally. Fine. Fine by me. In that case, we can just use bump to get the 4 to a 5. We'll turn you, put the 6 there, put the 5 in here, call it a day. So yeah, he needed an odd and an even to get both of his attacks off. He had 2 even dice. So, all right, he burned one of my dice. That means if I choose to use this die, it's going to cost me 2 life. Luckily, we only have 2 real attacks, so we can kind of leave this on the table here. That being said, let's re-roll. There's our 6, and we could burn our Fury here. Can do better? We can bump it. Do I want to burn the Fury? Because this will do 11. Put them up to 3 poison, which will leave them at 1 hit point, so they'll get 1 more shot at me. But it doesn't matter because we're leveling up and healing this all back anyway, so let's save the Fury. We're 1 off from killing them. And yeah, they're gonna do full damage to me here, but a gentle breeze will take them out. Yeah, let's just style on them. And we get our hit points back. Spike Shield can be offensive or defensive. Very handy. Not so a fan of a Boomerang, because, yeah, double the roll to your enemy, but do that damage to yourself? No, thank you. We're taking the shield. All right, now we need to make choices. I'm gonna swap out the sword, the spike shield for the sword, because this can still do damage, but also give us defenses as needed, and then we can get another small piece of equipment here. You can't sell equipment, but you can buy new stuff. I don't want to roll ones. Target shield, nightstick. Shocks the enemy on even rolls. That could be a good thing to soak up some smaller stuff. I might take Nightstick, because doing a little shock damage Not a bad idea. And since that only wants even rolls, it doesn't really care. Like, you could stick a 2 in there, and that would have the same effect as a 6. So we can stick our 4s and 2s into Nightstick. We can bump our 5s into 6s. We can use our 6s for Toxic Ooze. Everything else can be thrown into Spike Shield. I think that's a good setup here. Alright, let's go after Mr. Wizard. And we still have our Fury, too. Alright, I still want to Fury the Toxic Ooze. That's about as good of a use for Fury as you can get. So let's roll. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bump it. We're gonna Fury, and we're gonna double Toxic Ooze. We shock them. Let's see what re-rolling does. That does nothing. You know what? I'm gonna keep the 4. I'm not gonna get too greedy. So now they take the damage. Alright. Well, shock doesn't do too much against Mr. Wizard here. But yeah, no, we win. We don't even have to take the damage from that. We just hit them, and then the poison kills them next turn. That works. Alright, since we lose access, we can't go upstairs, we might as well take the free healing before we go down a floor. Okay, I do want the, this upgrades, and this is new equipment, so this is absolutely the path to take. Now, he's weak to shock. We can do the shock status effect, but we don't do shock damage. This just applies the status. But that's still not too bad. Alright, yeah, we can bump you to a 5, or we can re-roll, because we want an even to shock him. Let's just see what this does. This gives us a 5. Okay, so actually, you know, this actually works out perfectly. So we poison you, we give ourselves a nice beefy shield, and then we shock you. No bumping needed. Not this turn, anyway. So yeah, that shut down one of his attacks. Now he did weaken us, which actually nerfs one of our abilities temporarily. So our Spike Shield is now crappier for 1 turn. Still not too bad. Alright, let's re-roll, go fishing for 6s. Or 5s. Alright, no 6 this time. But we can smack you there. We can put more shield on. And we can return the favor. And it's random which of my pieces of equipment he nerfs each turn. Alright, come on, 5 or 6, there we go. Yeah, we throw the 2 into Nightstick, we throw the 3 into Shield. Now, you can't even get through my shield. He might be nerfing my equipment temporarily. Yeah, this works out nicely. Well, here, we'll throw... Well, I don't even need to, because he'll die to the poison next turn anyway. Alright, let's get some equipment here. Chocolate Cookie. A way to enforce the repeat next action thing. That actually is... I do want to keep the bump, because that's super useful, but throwing some of our dregs into chocolate... Although, all of these want high rolls. And so do Chocolate Cookie. Here, this 12 means I have to put a collective number of dice dots on there. So I have 12 dice dots before this activates. Yeah, you know what? I think Nightstick is still the better take here. But I also might see what the upgrade does. What does Toxic Ooze do? Adds 3 poison. Not bad. Not great, though. We can do better. This allows Spike Shield to absorb a 6, which would allow it to do 6 damage. Bump. We could bump twice. That could be good. Nightstick removes the need for that. Let's take a peek in the backpack. What does upgrading? So that now it only needs 9 to double up the action. Still kind of anti-synergistic here. And then sword does +1 damage. I think our better bet here is bump. We can pretty much guarantee the rolls that we want through re-rolling and bumping. And then eventually we can replace Nightstick with something else. Alright, we do want to go after the shop, so let's go after this bully here. Well, handy that. We already have some goodies here. Yeah, a 6, a 5. Yeah, we literally don't need to manipulate our dice this turn. Now, shock doesn't do so much. Ow. At least we have fury now, and a 6. So wombo combo time. Let's see. We can bump you to hit a 5. Get some more shielding going. Yeah, Nightstick is nice, but it's not great. Surprised he didn't use the 6 to do one of his rock attacks. Alright, we bump you to a 6. We bump you to a 5. Of course, I'm outfoxing myself here. I could just throw some damage in there. Oh, whatever. He's dies to the poison anyway. Alright. And we level up. Extra dice. Alright, let's go see what the shop has for us. Boomerang, I already said I don't like. I don't like dagger. I mean, it's nice to have a reusable attack if you have a ton of dice, but not really us. First aid kit is an interesting play. It gives us some healing. And now that we have an extra dice and we only have 2 attacks, we can actually... That's tempting. To keep ourselves topped off, because that's 8 health. That's a lot of health. I think I'm gonna buy. It, and I think we first aid kit here. Swap it for the Nightstick. You do want to hit every. You can just jump down to the next level, but sometimes it's good to fight everybody along the way. All right, so we toxic ooze you. This can get dumped into the first aid kit. We are looking for a 5 or... yeah. And then we'll just go for something higher. Yeah, I'll dump that in there. We're going to be, like, super tanky now. Alright, we could double bump. Let's go for some rerolls here. I love the soundtrack to this game, by the way. Alright, we go for the double bump then. And this is why we upgraded bump. Now, I might... let's put up a little shield. I'm going to dump the 4 in here, but I'm going to purposely not put the 3 in, because we can heal more next round. And he's just thorning up, huh? Fair enough. Alright, we bump you to a 4. We get hurt every time that happens. But, dink, we're back to full. Ooh! We were 1 away. Yeah, the correct answer here is to literally do nothing and let the poison kill you, because otherwise thorns would hurt me. Alright, well, we're topped off, max health. We have healing on the board here, so I think we're doing pretty well here. Alright, Haunted Jar. I think he's another resistant to poison. That's alright, we're not wholly dependent on our poison. I still want to trigger it, too. Alright, so we bump you to a 6. And actually, I don't think Shield's going to help us out if he's Mr. Poison McPoiserson. So I think we just throw the 4 in there. Let's re-roll to maximize our first aid kit. Why did I re-roll that? Yeah, because he does exclusively poison damage. He's got his own countdown doodad. Limit break, eh? Alright, well, let's re-roll here. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's go for the double bump. It still does some damage to him. And yeah, poison damage pierces shields. So throwing up shields against him, not gonna help us out. Shoot, and actually I left myself all odd dice. Whatever. Actually, I should have just threw the 1 in there. That's alright. We'll live. Alright, he's gonna double our poison, so that's gonna hit us for 8. Luckily, our first aid kit is ready to rock and roll. And then here, we just let the poison kill him. I meant to do some little extra damage just to finish him off, but I forgot about the odd evens thing. Alright, let's see what piece of equipment we got here. Shovel. Alright, so it's another thing like the poison. And actually, weaken on a 6 is good. The problem here is now we have 2 different pieces of equipment competing for 6s. Now that being said, we can now make use of that. And actually, I think with the spike shield, with the first aid kit, this is our shielding and doing that are 2 different sides of the coin. So you know what? I think shovel in there, and then yeah, bump plus is definitely going to be pulling its weight here. Because now we really, really want to engineer 6s. Alright, Mr. Snowman. Alright, first step, we see if we can, yeah, get things closer to 6s. Because we want 2 6s. Nope. Not gonna happen. Alright, so now we need to decide what, if I remember this correctly, Snowman, yeah, he's got a lot of different attacks, which means that weakening one of them isn't gonna necessarily help us out, so we want the poison to get the top tier damage here. So we are gonna take our bump and get you poisoned. I mean, we will bump our shovel dice here, and then just dump the rest of these 2 into the first aid kit. Ooh, that is as strong of an attack as he could get. 5s, because it can only accept odd dice, and yeah, he turned us all our stuff into 1s. That's the frozen mechanic here. 6s, please. Oof. Oof. Well, okay. Yeah, we can't even trigger the first aid kit twice here. All right, we double bump the 6, and then we Fury off of it with... do I want to double shovel? I kind of want to double shovel. But there's no guarantees. You can just choose the non-shovel one, so... it still makes more sense to do Toxic. We'll gently bump him and go for that. I'm going to try and trigger my... my first aid kit. Alright, this one's a little bit more merciful. He's still gonna hit me with 2 freezes, but he only hits me for 2 damage. Alright, 6s? No. Nope. Yeah, we're not too good against that. Do we want to, yeah, I think we still double bump here. To trigger more poison. And we, you know, that kills him anyway. I mean, granted, we didn't trigger our heal. We're 1 fight away because you get experience point equals to their level, but we can grab some free healing over here just to top us off. And let's see what this trade shop is. This says, no, no. We are not trading away our bump plus. What are you, nuts? Alright, Wickman. Alright, let's go for some rerolls here. There's our 6. Excellent. Can we get another one? Or a 5? Nope. Okay, fair enough. Actually, no, we can double bump this this 4. And now we have our 2 6s for our 2 status effects. Oof. Couple of burns here, eh? Alright, I might soak up this burn damage here, because I don't want to not use my dice. And actually, that damage was enough to trigger my Fury here. Ooh, alright, double 6s. Now, what do we want to... Actually, since he's only got 2 attacks here, double shovel will put in the most work for us here. Well, bam! Well, bam! Yeah, he's not going to do 13 to me in a turn. Yeah, both of them are now nerfed. All right, let's see here. All right, we can get our 2 6s. Let's roll for something higher for the first aid. Oh, there's a natural 6. So let's first aid kit here. Oh, well, I've healed a full anyway, so it's moot. Let's see. Needs doubles, bash with shield. We're not using shields now, so we do the upgrade. Shovel gives us on an even inflict the weaken, or we're pretty good at getting that. What's first aid kit give us? That only takes 8 or down to 12. That might not be bad. But no, I think a more reliable weakness on shovel is a good idea, because we don't always get the opportunity to do double 6. All right, floor 5. Let's see, couple of goodies here, but we have to tangle with the loud bird. This thing is like the king of status effects. Luckily, we've got our own status effects. Alright, so we can get double 6s, which I think we will do. Because, yeah, a 6 is also an even, so there's no harm in putting a 6 in there. And that lets us do 612 damage here. Let's re-roll to see if we can't get, better first aid kit goodies here. Well, he gets the dodge anyway. All right, so yeah, he weakens 2 of my things. Max of 3, so we can't use that to bump up to another 6. What we can do is use that to bump this this up to this 1 to a 2, and make it trigger our shovel plus. Oh yeah. Well, he also is going to dodge the next attack. So what do we want to do? I kind of want to. Yeah, no, let him dodge this one, so he can take the full poison to the face. I mean, I guess we could trigger it with the nerfed one, but I don't want to. I'll wait for a turn where he doesn't nerf it. All right, well now we're silenced. That means no rerolls unless we spend dice to unlock. Shovel has been nerfed. First aid kit's been nerfed. All right. Well, at the very least, I mean, we can still smack them with the shovel. We just won't inflict weakness. And we can still keep up the poison. Oh, what the hey? We'll heal for 4. Smack. Alright, silenced again. Alright, they got all 3 attacks this time. So, maximum obnoxiousness. But it's scarcely gonna matter. We use up their dodge with that and then poison them. That bird fight can get a lot, can get turned into a bit of a slog depending on your build. Luckily, we had enough front-loaded damage. Ooh, another equipment upgrade. I will buy that. We use it enough to make it worth it to pop the extra poison here. All right, I wanted to make my way to this extra upgrade in equipment before tackling the level 5, because he's, well, at the very least we can get the dire wolf. Alright, well, we got the natural double 6s here, so no need for those. And then let's see if we can't get a little better here. A little better. Cursed makes one of our abilities fail randomly, 50% chance, but it can only happen once. So here's what we do: we go for the bump, and because I want to trigger that before it makes these 2 attacks fail. All right, well that worked. Let's go for another bump then. There we go. So we got the curse out of our system, so now we can properly attack. How many moves do you have? We could do some extra work. Toxic ooze. Won't quite kill you this turn, but it'll give us another turn to trigger our first aid kit. And finish him off. Perfect. All right, now Counterspell. If an enemy rolls X, that dice is locked. A little too specific for my tastes. 8 health. We can handle Cowboy. Because I want that upgrade. Okay, we have a natural 6. We could bump these up to a 6. And actually, let me just use the bump for that, and then we can go re-roll fishing for the others. Good enough. Oh boy, I'm glad I nerfed that. Normally that would let him naturally get 2 6s and that feeds into his 6-shooter. But since we nerfed it, he only got to get 1 free 6 out of finishing that. So yeah, alright, glad I did that. Alright, we have a natural 6. We need to go re-roll fishing. Something closer that we can bump. Not getting 2 bumps, but we can still use the shovel, so you're getting the 6, you're getting the 2. And yeah, we'll trigger our first aid kit next turn. Oh man, so even nerfed it didn't help us out here. Oh well. We can trigger our first aid kit twice. There we go. Now that is more like it. And you will die to the poison. Because yeah, we're another fight away from our big heal, so letting our first aid kit do the work, not a bad. Well, we got nothing else to upgrade. Normally, I have never gotten to the end with literally all of my items upgraded. Granted, we have 2 items that are taking up larger spaces, but I think they're pulling their weight for the amount of space they take. So first aid kit upgrade get. And yeah, let's go after the skeleton. We can heal up before the boss. Actually, we're going to heal up, so I should have taken those anyway. Okay, well, we have our free 6s here. Let's fish for something better here. Alright. I'll take it. Bump them to maximum value. And actually, I'm glad we didn't trigger it this turn, because that way we can easily trigger it next turn after he lays into us a bit. Yeah, nerfing his Shriek ability prevents him from cursing us as easily. He needs double 2s. Normally he just needs 1 2 to curse us, but nerfing it makes double 2s. Granted, he's going to do a lot of damage with his 2-handed sword, so but that's okay. That's okay. We have our healing kit here. All right, that's good. Excellent. So 1 bump to get our double 6s. And yeah, this is a little overkill, but I'll take it. Ooh, he has the double 2s! But that also prevented him from hitting me with his sword, so that might not be so bad. Especially now that we can fish bump to get the cursed out of our system. There we goes. Okay. Now we're not going to have double 6s here, but that's okay. I could go reroll fishing. Well, first off, let's get the 6, because we know we need the 6. 4. I'll accept a 4. And then we'll toss that in there. I should have fished for something higher. I mean, he's dead next turn anyway. Now, the curse might eat our first aid kit here. I am holding on to Fury, though. Alright, it didn't eat our first aid kit. Good. It did eat that, but we got 1 more. Not that we needed it, because healing to full, and we get the extra dice right before the final boss. Let's just check this. Was there anything else? Yeah, no. Spatula. No, thank you. All right, final boss. Who are we fighting today? The Jester. Interesting. Normally he appears just mid-floors, but I guess he's a little harder as a boss here. All right, limit break, 5 dice. So you know he changes equipment every turn, but I think going for the double. What do I want to double up? Do I want to double weaken or double poison? I think double poison, because this is going to be a longer fight. So let's do the bump to get our 2 6s. Trigger Fury, double poison. That way this poison gets ticking nice and early. Get that ticking nice and early. I actually want this to be lower. Roll lower. Roll something lower. There. Because I don't want to trigger my first aid kit yet. I just wanted to... Wow. 3 1s, and that wasn't even me. That was just a really horrible roll. Alright, we got 2 5s. They can become 2 6s. That's fine by me. And actually, I'm going to keep the rest of my dice unused. Because I just want my... Here, I'll stick a 1 in it. But I want my first aid kit at the ready. There, now he has some stuff. Lock 1 dice, do 6 damage, lock 1 dice. So now, yeah, that's 2 of my dice locked away. But that's alright, we've got tools. We've got rerolls. That don't really reroll. Alright, well, we can double bump for that. We can throw the 2 in there for the effect, and we've got our healing kit. Ooh, we could have used just so much more. Alright, well now most of our dice are blinded, but it doesn't really matter.
Direction eye.
Alright. He's been fighting and taunting us, but I think he's just another contestant that's been wanting to go here. Normally he shows up at this portrait. Normally you spin a wheel to get out there. Oh, did we unlock him? Yeah, we unlocked the Jester. Okay, well, funny that. So I was going to actually do a mini-series where I go through each of the different characters. Well, we just unlocked the last of the characters. So we can do a full mini-series here. So I hope you guys liked it. If you guys do, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar, signing out. See ya!